God is always with you. Now, this happened back in 1974. A friend and I in high school, it was the year I graduated high school, and as soon as we got out of school, we took one of those unlimited Greyhound bus tours, which took us we went up the West Coast all the way up to Seattle, came back down to Phoenix, and then headed to Youngstown, Ohio. And that's kind of where our 30 days ran out. There's other stories in there that I'm going to put on other videos, but this story has to do with God just preserving me. So we get to Youngstown, Ohio. I had just become a Christian the year before. I got saved at a Billy Graham crusade in 1973. So my friend and I, we get to Ohio, and I hadn't been going to a Bible teaching church, hadn't really been reading my Bible, not really growing as a Christian. I was basically just a dope that was saved by grace, which I guess that's still what I am. But anyhow, so we get to Youngstown, Ohio, and my buddy's friend, his uncle, actually, is where we're going to stay that night for a couple of days. We're going to stay in Youngstown for a few days, and then we're going to hitchhike back to Phoenix because we've already been gone 30 days, you know. So we get to his uncle's house, and his uncle happened to own a grocery store. And so the first thing we did is we all get to go out to the grocery store, and my buddy and I got to push around this cart, fill it up with whatever we wanted to eat for that week we're going to be there or whatever. And that was so much fun. Then you go through the checkout and you don't pay. It was great. So we get home, we eat dinner, had this great steaks and potatoes and all that. So we eat dinner, and then he wants to go out. So we go out. Well, we weren't even 18 at the time. And back then, we both had forged our driver's license so that we could pass for 18, or it looked like we were 18. I'm not recommending any of this. This is just what was happening during this trip. So we went out, and they didn't have, you could drink near beer, they called it. It wasn't like as much alcohol as regular beer. It's like if you were 21 in Ohio. So we were drinking this near beer stuff. Well, even though it's near beer, if you drink enough of it, it works. So we're kind of like half swacked, whatever. And we're driving back, and he says, "Hey, I got to show you this road that I used to go on." I guess one of his friends used to take him driving on this road before he had his license. It's all these curves, it's up in the mountains and stuff. So here he's been drinking and everything, and it's the two of us, and we're in his uncle's brand new Toyota Celica, hardtop, really nice little two-door. Those of you that remember those cars. And so anyhow, we're driving around in it, and we go up into this hills. Now, pretty soon, he's going around these corners, and it's after midnight. And the tires are squealing as he's going around these corners. And I'm thinking, all of a sudden, I just got this feeling that, this isn't good. And so I thought, I'm going to put on my seatbelt, So I put on my seatbelt, and God is my witness. As soon as I plugged that puppy in, the very next turn, we didn't make it. We were making a right-hand turn, and we slid because we couldn't turn sharp enough. We slid, we hit the curb, and we went up this hill, and then we started rolling, sideways, not end over end, rolling back down the hill. And then we landed, and thank God we landed right side up. But I can remember as we were rolling down, everything just switched to slow motion. All of a sudden, it's like, ooh. And my buddy, he didn't have his seatbelt on, so he was flying all over the place. Thankfully, I had my seatbelt on, so I didn't really hit anything. I just kind of went slowly flopping. I think we rolled twice. And then, we landed right side up. And we're both sitting there, and he's kind of cut up because he was kind of flying around a little bit. And I'm like, wow, this isn't good. And we get out of the car, and the left front wheel was totally bent under where it had hit the curb and just bent the axle. And the top was smashed, and the whole car was just smashed up. And so we're standing outside the car just dumbfounded. This is back before cell phones. And so we were just on foot now. We had to walk about a mile to find some lady that would open her door after midnight. We had to beat on the door, and finally the police came. We told them we were being chased. There was a lot of racial problems in Ohio back then. So we said we were being chased by these guys. And the cops, they believed us. They wrote us up, but they didn't give us a ticket or anything. And his uncle came down and said, "I'm just glad you guys are okay." And totally trashed his new car. Thinking, oh gosh, but I knew the Lord was with me to put on my seatbelt and that I didn't get hurt. And Even though we were doing stupid things, even though the things we were doing were wrong, even though I really wasn't doing it, walking with the Lord, I was a believer, and God had a plan for my life. And here I am. Today's my birthday, 54. This was back when I was 17. So a lot of years have passed, and God just had a plan for me that didn't include dying in a car in a new Toyota Celica back in 1973 or 4. And so anyhow, we go to the hospital. He had to get some stuff done. I just said I had a headache. They wouldn't give me any aspirin unless I was admitted, so I just went home or went to the guy's uncle's house. So the next night, this kind of kills me. The next night we're sitting there and we're watching TV, and his uncle looks over at us and he says, "Hey boys, did you want to take out the station wagon tonight?" We're like, "No, no thanks." But it's just one more time that God showed himself strong in my behalf. Even though I was like a prodigal son, just out doing my own thing, he was still watching over me, and he watches over you. That doesn't mean he's going to let everything ride. He's always going to rescue you. But he has a plan, and he's going to see it through. He who began a good work in you is faithful to complete it. Amen. Hey, God bless.